100 lifetimes passed. A dwarven kingdom was ruled by a cult of corrupt elders known as the Diadem. They lorded over the valley between two mountain ranges called the Upper and Lower Riles. This wound in the soil became known by the people as the Crag. Insulted by death, the Diadem toyed with magic of the soul and cursed themselves and their nation into eternal unlife. Incited by the gods' inaction, an archfey of winter rose to end the blight and covered the crag and its horde in an eternal sheet of ice. Centuries later, new life has found its way to this frozen wasteland. The humans first, carving holes in the ice river Tormag and fishing its depths. The halflings felt the new and powerful natural magics and settled in the hills. The dragonkin and orcs fled their persecutions and waged war in the frozen wastes. Finally, the gnomes found silver in the upper isles and began trade between all the races of the crag with coins shaped like a beating heart. For this reason, all those who share that eternal winter have become known as the Crag-Hearted. Alright, and we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of The Crag. As always, I am your DM Cheshire Cat, Apelles, and with me I have our fantastic group of Crag-Hearted back again to see how this adventure goes. I'm kind of left on a little bit of a cliffhanger last time, so I'm kind of excited to see how this will go and what all of our adventurers decide to do. We have a little bit of a storm coming in, so just to be mindful of that. Something crazy could happen halfway through this, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, let's just go down the introductions. It is also Mother's Day, so if you haven't called your mothers yet, please do so, or call after this game. That's the only announcement I have today, but we're going to go on to the next. Just go ahead and introduce yourself, say your name, who you're playing, and what you're kind of anticipating right now. What you're thinking is going to happen soon. We'll start with Trevor.
Hi, I'm Trevor. I play Hog, and I am anticipating a lot of new information this session because we have an interesting character that we've all sort of heard of but haven't interacted with yet. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too. Let's head over to Kyle.
Hi, my name's Kyle. I'm playing Braum, and I'm just leery on how things are going to turn out with everybody all of a sudden showing up unannounced. A lot of new faces that are really important to things that are here now. So, see how that goes.
We will see how it goes. Next up, we will have Raymond.
All right, I'm Raymond. I play Milo. I'm most looking forward to seeing if we make it out of this library without a fight. I'm kind of itching for one, but I feel like we'll see what happens.
Fights in the Crag
So, yeah.
deadly. Let's see if you can. And we'll go finally on over to our friend Joe.
Hey, I'm Joe. I'm playing Vaga, and I'm also anticipating just an absolute bloodbath. We're not going to get out of this town without a fight, if we get out of this town at all. And yeah, someone's going to die soon.
Sure. I have no idea why
Well,
they're so on edge.
Dang,
But I guess that's fine. Let's actually take a moment, and because everybody's on edge a little bit, we need to find out why. We have the recap for today. Go ahead and just give us a quick recap of where we were and where we are now.
All right. So previously on Crag and Ball Z Cold Fusion, our heroes left Almanac to head up towards Mesopeak so they could cross the Bridge of Bouts and then circle on back to find the Giant's Bridge on the other side. Along the way, Milo had a dream. Another dream of Maesor fighting Orcus and something about the stump tree. Along the way, they came across a camp full of dead halflings and humans and dragon, all seemingly poisoned by the snow. They made it to Mesopeak and were able to gain entrance into the city, even though Milo acted very suspiciously. They went inside Mesopeak. They went to the hovel. Yeah, Milo also acted suspiciously again. Or maybe not there. No, I think he was suspicious in the apothecary. Then Brahm's shield attracted a lot of attention by the patrons of the hovel. After a short shopping montage, our protagonists made their way to Melthorne's study, where they discovered answers, of which I don't remember all of the details to those answers, but they discovered they got word of a tomb in which Mehron's axe could probably fit inside, and something will happen. It's important to the plot. And we surmise that it might be underneath the River Tormag. But before we could investigate further, some unexpected friends found us in the library. And that is where we left off.
Let's begin.
Back to Dragon Ball Z.
One
For
quick
background
note.
information, right now only Apelles can hear the music, so
I know,
that
right?
might be
It could be Dragon Ball Z music. You all would never know. No, but one very important thing is that you all mentioned and found mention of something called the Vault of Mehron. And all this word, this symbolism on the axe made it refer to itself like a key. And so these two kind of felt like they were going together. And you know that it's probably in the mountains to the southeast of the river Tormag, but that's all you know. And you did know that there's something called the Vault, which is a little bit different of a destination than what you all thought it may have been leading to, which was the Giant's Bridge. But this seemed like a very clear option, something else that seems to be lurking down in the south at the mouth of the river. We're going to start by joining a set of soft footsteps. They are delicate, quiet, and continue down a unlit corridor with purpose. They lead to a room that has standing outside two dragonkin bronze knights. As these footsteps approach the door, they stand in attention and then relax as a soft wave of a wrist brings them from their military to their civilian state of mind. At ease, boys. We will leave soon. And she walks into this room. She puts down a stack of books. They are research notes, perhaps. You see, there are some notes of maybe high school level lessons about anatomy and biology. And she walks to a small chest that is by an open window. As she leans over the chest, she bows and puts her hands together and leans forward towards the chest. And you see above it there is a symbol of a deer's or horse's skull with two antlers or horns stretching from the sides. As she tilts her head back up, you see a raven land on the window in front of her, and the raven is mostly black but has mottled white in its fur. You see her chuckle a bit, reach next to the chest, and pull out a collection of small finger bones that she slowly grinds into a powder. And with a thick brush made of wolf hair, she dabs the powder and powders the raven white. There we are. We can't have you being seen. Tell them we are on the way. And the raven lifts and flies into the white, windy crag. She lifts open the chest, and inside you see a mirror, and in its reflection you catch the glint of Caltrax's white scales. And as she reaches in, she pulls out a robe, stitched and made of human skin. The raven flies off into the white, white wastes. And we see from the raven's view a building. It is small, but seems to have quite a bit of ruckus going on inside of it. As through the front door and flanked by two very large human guards is an orcish man who has just walked in and recognized Hog, and with a joyous laugh screamed, "Holcrum! Ha ha! It's a pleasure to see you here!" Oh, and he will walk right over to Hog and just give him a big hug.
I'd like hug him right back. It's good to see you too, but why are you here? I thought I was dispatched first.
Yes, of course, and we can talk about that. But I'm here just to get out a little bit, and we were gonna do some research with Mister. And he kind of looks over, and the dragon can just kind of waves, and for the first time you see him close his book and begin to stand. We're here to do
Hey,
some
Billy.
research.
Tresgar, Master Melthorne, Tresgar,
Melthorne looks.
Brom, Tresgar.
Melthorne looks. We are acquainted.
Hmm.
Next to him,
I'm
you
gonna
see
ready. I'm gonna ready an
Melthorne.
action, Appelli.
Sure. Go. What action are you trying to ready?
If literally anybody reaches for that axe, they're getting booped right on the noggin.
Sounds legit.
Can I also ready Izzy to post up around on the ceiling behind them for the similar situation?
Sure.
Okay.
Izzy, your small pseudo dragon, looks out at this Tresgar who's just walked in, looks back at you. and just flies and takes position. Um, Yeah, but he seems very jovial, and next to him you see Melkor and a person you don't recognize. He's human, but Melkor is this large black man who has these dreads that kind of go down. He tucks them into his collar around his throat, his neck for warmth, and he looks at you. Um, and he just kind of nods, Brom. And he kind of looks around. He looks and sees Vaga, and he also sees Milo. And this large man just kind of nods. And meanwhile, he's very reticent, but Tresgar's like, "Oh
Do I have
yes,
do I still have that axe?
you do have it with
Like,
you,
it's in my possession, right? Okay, I'm
correct?
sort of it's behind me or something. It's it's not in plain sight, I guess.
Yes.
Or is it? Okay.
Well, it's on your back, right? It's not a small thing, but
Right, yeah.
it is
But I
there.
just started making sure
It's
I
not like
have that.
within grabbing range, we will say.
Cool.
So he kind of looks. Is like, so how goes it? How goes the mission so far?
Um, to be honest, it's been a bit rough, but I have found. I was just talking to him, right? Like, how is everyone? In
Everyone
earshot?
else is there.
Okay, just watching us.
Yeah, he's very much
I
so.
have met
Just
with Vaga. I have met with Vaga, and I sort of hand motion over to Vaga standing over there.
Vaga. Oh, a
wait.
pleasure. And he will reach out his hand to Vaga. Tresgar.
It is a pleasure to meet you. I shake his hand.
Excellent. We've heard great things about you. We figured we might need your expertise for this.
Vaga is a master of light magic and has saved my life, so I am in his debt. It would seem that we
Well, first,
need a little
introduce.
bit more information, and I had meant to speak to Melthorne before we embarked again upon the road to.
Well, this is a good place as any to get information. That's kind of why we're here too. If we find anything, we'll try to get word to you. And he kind of reaches over. Brom, good to see you. You been keeping my boy safe?
I'll just grunt and nod in agreement.
Excellent. And who's your friend here? And he kind of leans down. And Tresgar is a large orc, right? He's not a half orc. He is an orc. So he kind of leans down and looks at Milo. Oh, what's your name?
I just kind of look up at him with this like untrusting thought process going through my head, and I'm pretty sure it shows across my face. Name's Milo. Pleasure's all mine.
It certainly is. And he does hold out his hand to you.
I take it and shake it.
Excellent. Nice to meet you. Are you all traveling with my boy here?
Yeah, they are indeed traveling with Chaboy. We out of character, and like, how much do I say?
It's up to you.
Yeah, no.
He's just being friendly.
Still looking for leads. So, pray tell, what have you found?
Not much, if we're being honest. A lot of it's in languages nobody knows how to read anymore. So we figured we'd look into some of the draconic expeditions, see if we can find a little bit more knowledge, and I guess we both have the same idea.
Which particular draconic expedition?
Well, the Dragonkin seem to travel and they go and explore the ruins and things a little bit more than we do. So I thought we'd talk to our friend Melthorne here and see if we can get a little bit more information.
Which
The Dwarven
the
ruins,
ruins to
boy.
the north? or the south?
Melthorne kind of is like, we go everywhere. We go where we please. Melthorne now is that accent, I guess, but Melthorne is there.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
he's
some
like,
fantasy reference.
we go where we please. At this point, Melkor will look at Brahm and just like do this and step outside. He raised two fingers and just kind of calls Brahm towards him and then steps outside of the library.
I just kind of walk through the middle of the group, seeing as how it's not a big building and I'm a large man, so I just make my way through them.
Sure. And you two head outside. In the meantime, Tresgar is still looking. So we're looking to find just a little bit more information on it, just to find out where this mine is that this thing may be pointing to. We could have all kinds of treasures that both the orcs and humans can use. As he kind of yells over his shoulder to Brahm as he leaves, and humans may be able to, just keep an eye on and keep leverage on. We've promised our friend Melthorne here a little bit of extra treasure if things go well.
How do you know Melthorne?
And Melthorne's like, most people who have the money know me. Oh, speaking of which, because you all might have more than I do, and he reaches into one of his satchels and he pulls out a bag, and the bag clinks as he pulls it out. And he's like, I figured if you all had any additional questions, I might be able to bankroll some of it. I know our Melthorne here is a stubborn boy.
That would be much appreciated. It seems that we are serving the same purpose. I lean in close to just Tresgar if I can.
It's really hard.
Maybe everyone can. Small building, but I lean in close, sort of with purpose, and I say that we're still all looking for the same mine, right?
And he kind of looks at you. Yes, we are. Should we speak in private?
If that's the one question that we have to ask Melthorne, then I suppose we do it now.
Well, sorry. And he reaches into this bag and he pulls out like a handful of Crag-Hearts, and then he's like, "All right," and slams them down on the desk in front of Melthorne. All right, here we go.
All right.
A little bit disrespectfully, right? Like a little bit. Just, I know this is what you want. Here you go.
Throw money at your problems.
And at this point, can I have Kyle, if you can, please drop off? Because you're not in here for this conversation. I will come back to you in a moment.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, oh, okay. You didn't have to drop out. You could just mute the... Oh.
Nah, I prefer this. So, as he's talking to you all, you get to, at this point, ask any additional questions you would like. Using the same, because I will pull back up our rates in Melthorne's study here. Self-study is 15 silver pieces. You can get an Arcana or History check. You can use Millie or Juan. They will give you a 15 on a History or Arcana check for 100. Or Melthorne himself for 500 Crag-Hearts will give you a equivalent of a 20 on a History or an Arcana check. So, is there anything you would like to ask specifically?
Yeah. So if he's bankrolling,
looks like it.
Then
I tug at Vaga before he starts because I see him going for it and I know Vaga. So I tug him. I was like, just a heads up. You do realize if he's bankrolling, he's gonna want the information. Just keep that in mind as you ask stuff. Okay?
Okay.
I see what you did there. You know, axe stuff like with the. No, never mind.
Excellent joke.
Well, also DM. Actually, I'm not sure if my character, or just me in general, knows this. But since I got the letter from the Lumustat, can I make an insight as to whether I'm confident that these guys are part of it?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Because there's not really any way you could verify that.
Yeah.
People aren't really like flashing badges if they are part of it or whatever, right? So,
Yeah. Well,
I look. We know where we're going. To the south.
To the
We
south?
know we're looking for. Well, to pick up on supplies.
what?
Why? Do you know something
you all-
more important in the south?
No, it's why are you all traveling to the south?
What do you know of this mine?
All we found was this axe during one of the human expeditions. They found it, and then he kind of stops for a second and he looks at the other two people that are there. How much have you told them?
I've told them my name.
Well, I feel like, and he's more so looking at Milo, right? Because he knows how Vaga fits into all this. But not so much sure about Milo, and is like, I'm sorry, Milo, yes?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, would you mind if we spoke in private a little?
Yeah, sure. Sure, not a problem. I'll go over here. I had a couple questions for
Do you want me to mute my thing?
the ladies. Is it possible, DM, for me to go to the other side of the study and talk to the other two,
The two
the
halflings?
two ladies? Yeah.
You can, yes.
Okay.
Give me
And real quick, how much was that again? Sorry, I forgot
a
to pull that up.
hundred.
I
It was 100 Crag-Hearts to get the
talked to
equivalent
them.
of a 15 on a history or arcana check, guaranteed.
Okay. Can I go far enough to way that I'm still within enough earshot to where they won't think I'm hearing, and do a self study
Give me a stealth check.
stealth check? And that's gonna be a 15.
Okay.
What, Dada?
Where is he at? There you go. So it'll probably be a perception check on his end, probably.
I would say so, probably.
Sorry, I forgot where he was. I thought he was inside of Roll20, and I don't think he is. Darn it. Where are we at? There we go. Oh, it's just that. Yeah, no, he doesn't notice you. So you're more than welcome to eavesdrop a bit.
Okay, and I'd also Izzy is behind them. Can I roll a stealth for Izzy because she is there and she understands, and I can communicate telepathically with her
Sure. That's
everything
fine.
that's being said.
Hmm.
So would I roll for her or for what would be the
Just give
best
me
thing
another stealth for her.
for her?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, sorry, that was an accident. But the first one is it was only a 9 for her.
Okay. I think that's still more than him.
Where does
Yeah.
all
So
night?
he does not notice.
Okay.
You're good there. So you kind of lean over. You pay. Do mark off another 15 crag hearts while you're doing your research. Whether or not you're actually doing research or pretending to do research, you are definitely going to be spending money to pretend to do research. So go ahead and mark off 15 crag hearts for that as you are on your side. Let's see here. So as you are going about that, let's see. Where am I at? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do. I'm doing like 20 things at once.
You're fine. I actually do want to do a study during the time
Okay.
on Mehron's vault to see if there's anything else that comes up because we found that looking for stuff.
Yeah.
So I was trying to see if I could find anything about the actual vault itself, or okay, should it be one or two, the vault or the bridge, the Giant's Bridge that is currently non-existent? Would that be two studies or one?
There'll be two.
Two. Okay, I'll do and mark off 30 then because I don't know how long they'll be talking.
Okay.
So I'll do one for each of those, and we can do that after you guys are done with stuff.
Okay. That's fine then. We will do that. I'm going to go back to just the normal thing now. Cool. All right. We're back. Sorry, there was some stuff on the back end I had to fix up, but we are good. So basically, as Milo goes off to the side and kind of pretends to do research and then does some research, um, he looks back at the rest of you all. All right. Uh, we found the axe in the upper Isles. It was in one of the human expeditions that was there, and we did find it looked like it had been used, but we just found it in one of the caves there. We're not really sure where it came from or what it's associated with. But the humans brought it to me, knowing that I do a lot of research with strange artifacts and things like that, and that's why we are here. I am a member of the Orcish Council, but I am also a member of the Lumastat, and that part of it is why we are trying to find this mine before, and he kind of looks, the Order of the Undead does. If they get their hands on it first, then um, we may have some issues. I would rather it be in the hands of one of the political powers than the Order of the Undead, if at all possible. And he kind of leans in a little bit closer. I would prefer it to be in the hands of no one.
Do you suspect? Do you suspect that
Wait, did we hear all this?
the
You did hear all this.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Vaga, go.
yeah, uh, do you suspect that the order used the axe recently, or some other force?
And I do not know. It is possible that it was used, but we think maybe whoever had it abandoned it in a hurry. It is not something that can be easily hid. It gives off a strange aura. Even now, I sense it coming off of him.
If I might,
It's
I would
uncomfortable.
I would ask a question of Melthorne,
Certainly.
but I do not have the hearts.
I certainly do. If there's one thing I can provide to this godforsaken adventure. And he pulls out and just grabs another handful and just like tosses it at him.
Hmm.
What's your question?
Melthorne, how did the Lumostat capture and imprison Kronos?
And he kind of looks at you and leans back. You know a lot, elf.
That is what I do. But I would like to know more.
And you see him just scoop the pile of crag hearts into a bag underneath the table. He leans forward. Kronos was captured in a diamond. Kronos' power was that he had escaped our mortal coil and could at will transition into the ethereal plane. When he attempted escape, the elves, using powerful magics, bound him to a crystal and tied that crystal to an obelisk. It was shipped south, never to be seen again. Why are you so curious? That is ancient history.
The eye that never blinks.
I am an ancient man. I am curious because I seek the Lumostat seeks the end of this order of the dead. The forces at work here could be the work of another necromancer. And it may be useful to
Possibly.
prevent another Kronos.
Well, hopefully it is useful. The binding of a soul to a diamond is a very tricky thing. It took the death of several elves to pull it off. Are you willing to die to stop the dead from rising?
If that is what my God requires, I will gladly do it. Whatever this life is worth.
Is this what waits us at the Golden Ridge?
I'm sorry.
So earlier I wasn't completely honest. I didn't lie, but I've been looking at my characters and I have very strong tenets of honesty that I want to stick to.
Mm.
So I'm going to look at Tresgar and say, we've read the inscription on the axe. Have you?
What? How is that possible?
This is what we know. And I'll tell him what the axe says.
He will write it down. This
And
is
the
incredible.
question I would like to ask, funds permitted.
Just real quick, because I'm not no one sees me right now.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
At the mention of hearing that Hog is giving that information, you just hear a loud smack on the other side of the room as he face palms himself, like, "Oh my gosh, did he just do that?"
And yeah, sorry, dude. I gotta stay in character. I ask him, and funds permitted, the question I would like to know from Melthorne. What do we need to beware at this Golden Ridge?
And Melthor
The
is
eye that never. Is it a phylactery? Is it a lich? Is it a dragon? Is it a how much is a Mesor Orcus there in person, in deity?
Melthorne is listening, right? And he's heard this poem now as well. And Tresgar immediately like rustles inside of his bag, and he's like, "I got room for one more." And he slams like 500 more Crag-Hearts down on the table. So he has this question, and then you all have one more question you can ask. And he says, "I am versed with some ancient forms of poetry. This seems, if you intend to follow it, in a chronological order, one thing after another, after another. I would say the Golden Ridge is something you will face. And I would say probably if this does lead to some sort of mine, sounds like security. The eye, the ridge, they seem to be things that will warn you against dangers once you arrive. Though this," and he points, "I've not heard any connection between Orcus and Mesor like this. Watching and waiting. This is symbolism of some kind. Seems you all will learn more about this as you continue. But this is not just a key. It looks like a guide."
I bow my
Um,
head and thank him. And can I
uh,
do an insight check on Tresgar? I don't know why. That I think of it, that none of us have done an insight check because I have, without going too far into it, I have reason to trust him, but it seems like everyone else doesn't, and so I'm going to sort of reevaluate my view.
Sure.
uh,
So
DM,
I'll roll an.
while this investigation check's happening, because I don't know that Milo's listening, I would like to message him with what Melthorne just said about the guide. So
Okay.
Milo hears like that
Milo is
again.
clear and up
I
to date, definitely.
I
I
hear that.
rolled an, I
I
rolled
will
an
be
18
right
on
back.
insight.
Roll an 18 on insight. That's very good. Would you like to know yourself, or would you like me to pass it on to everyone together here?
I this is a sort of as they're talking, I've asked my question. Um, I felt that the only way I could ask this question was to actually catch him up a little bit on the information we have. Otherwise, he's going to ask like, "Why are you asking this? Like, what do you
Yeah.
know that I don't?" And I wouldn't be able to lie or anything my way out of it. So now that all of this has been said and done, I want to see how he's reacting to it and see
Sure. I will.
anything deeper than the
I will
surface
message
level.
you personally, if that is
Okay,
okay.
sure.
Um,
Because I don't want to keep Kyle out of the chat
exactly.
too long.
So at this point, we will. Kyle will probably come back in before your all's last question. So we will.
Okay.
At this point, let's actually do this. Let's have Joe and Raymond drop off. I'm going to tell Trevor what's going on, and then I'm going to pull Kyle on, and then we'll do that.
Okay. Should we
I
just make
can't
another
hear
channel and we
Raymond.
could jump into the other channel? Oh,
Uh,
too late.
do you want me to do my rolls in preparation now for the study or no?
Yes, we will go. We will go over your roles when you come back.
Okay, I'll wait then.
All right. If y'all want, you can make. Go ahead and hop off, Raymond. Raymond, go ahead and hop off, Raymond. He can't hear me now that he
I
took
don't
his
think you can
headphones
hear it.
off.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could
We
just
will
tell me as long
just.
as you can see his headphones off.
think there's a way to boot him. Hold on.
In the future,
Sorry,
could you
it
just
messed up.
Okay, yeah, just hop out of the chat, Raymond.
Sorry, trying to figure out how to leave.
I press
I
the hang up button?
think it's just disconnect.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Cool. So, as you are
Okay.
watching and looking over his mannerisms, as he is looking through all of these, all this information that's coming in, right? This is a lot of info for him. And as he's looking through and you're watching his face and you're looking at him and he looks up at you, looking at him, and he kind of gives you like a smile, like, this is good, this is good. Uh, as you're looking over, you don't feel like he is hiding anything from you with an 18. You don't feel like he is being, like, sneaky or deceptive in any way. He looks pretty straightforward. He's a little bit excited, right? Like about the prospects of what's going on and what's happening right now. And you can tell that he has probably been hitting a lot of dead ends on his side repetitively.
Right.
That kind of drove him to
And
trying to come here. And the fact that he met you here, he just feels like this is like divine providence almost. Like he's so happy.
okay, great. And I've been working with the Lumostat for a while, right?
You have been,
For
yes.
a year.
You've been working for
Okay.
them for quite some time. This is the first time you've worked with Tresgar on this specific assignment, but
Okay.
you've been working with the Lumistot for some time. And the
Well, yeah,
Lumistot
what he
did
stated earlier
tell
about his
you that
purpose,
he
that-
was a part of it, right? The Lumistot has told you
Yeah.
he's a part of the group. But
Okay, good.
cool,
Good to
cool.
know. Okay, should I hop out real quick? While you get
Yes,
settled,
and
or-
then I will bring in Kyle.
Okay.
I'm so excited. This is very fun. Ta-dum. Hey, Kyle. How you doing, Brom?
I don't know anymore because I don't know what happened. I assume not great, actually. I don't trust the dragonborn guy, that's for sure. Fuck him.
Sure,
And I
sure.
also don't trust the orc guy. So, don't trust anything that happened in that building without me.
All
Here we
right.
are.
Here we are. Melkor takes you outside, and around the side of the building, quietly, he starts talking to you in more quiet tones. And he's like, "Probably got some questions." And he,
Oh, I
he
mean,
kind of
not
looks
really.
at you. Don't know all of what's going on, but looks like our friend Tresgar has some pull in some high places. We are watching him, but his house arrest was lifted. He is still under guard, as you can see. And he kind of looks at the other side. On the other side, the other human is standing there. He's just swole and has like a more Nordic features like you do, and he kind of just nods at you. He's like, "But have you found anything at all?"
We've transcribed the axe.
He kind of like looks, because he knows it's in Dwarvish, right? So he looks, "That's big news."
The halfling, right? Wait. Milo's a halfling, right?
He is, yeah.
Yeah. The halfling speaks or can read Dwarven.
That's incredible.
Would I have this written down anywhere? Maybe.
Probably not. I don't think you write too many things down, but you could relay it to him if you would like. You've seen
I
it
relay
enough
it to him?
times. Yeah. You want to relay him the
Do I-
content of the axe?
Yeah.
Sure. I will just say you do recount it best you can. You do recount it
Thanks.
to him, and he thinks, "Man, that's That's pretty crazy shit, man.
Does any of it make sense to you?
If that... Well, look. We're pretty sure that guy was Mehron.
Correct. Right. I mean, yeah.
We came across it. We think it was a tomb. And when he got up, he was a monster. I don't know how Tresgar stopped him, but it was it was some sort of magic I ain't never seen before. Very aggressive and zealous almost. Now, my largest concern is it zealous for Mesor or zealous for Orcus? There was some magic there, but I don't know. I don't know. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Are you all following this? You gonna look for this thing?
Well, we're trying, but I don't. Obviously, I just related to you. I don't know what any of these mean.
Well, I know one
We're
thing.
currently headed east to go south.
Giant's Bridge is you don't want to mess with that, man.
Why?
We got a gnome. I don't remember his name. He's working down south in Leyron, and he's been working with one of the mayors here to try to open up some sort of settlement to try to rebuild um, another bridge down there because they had word of this second bridge, and he's been down there studying for some time, trying to have people go out and see the bridge, but they say it's protected, man. Like some sort of beast is between here and the bridge, and ain't nobody came back save one folk who's real shook, man.
Does anything else stand out to you in this?
Not much, man. No, all that sounds like some strange hieroglyphic mumbo jumbo. But hey,
Have my
don't
orders changed?
if you can avoid it, don't try to go towards that bridge, man. It ain't nothing. Well, but it could have some clues. How strong is your troop in there? How much pain y'all willing do you think you could take?
We might have to find out.
You might. You very well might. Tell you what, I can write you up a letter, get you in touch with that gnome. He might be able to tell you some more. Sounds like it's on your way, right? And he
I guess out of character. Like, I don't actually have the map pulled up. That is something. That is a town that, in theory, nothing keeps us from going over the river and south. That is somewhere we will be going through.
Yes, Leron is directly south of Urinal. It is along the River Tormag. It's a small village that you all would have been aware of, but you have not heard that it is done well.
But on the east, it's on the east
It's
side,
on the
though,
east
right?
side, correct. It is on the east
Okay.
side of the river.
Okay. And yeah, that'd be wonderful to get me in touch with that gnome.
Sure, here. And he gets out a piece of paper, and he starts writing away, and he gives you a paper that says, on behalf of the human guard, and it's kind of in Crick speak as well. I mean Crag talk, and it says, "Please provide passage and any assistance you can to Brom and his fellow people, blah, 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 blah. Please provide to, and the name he writes is a Merrick, Merrick, 2 gears, Twogears, a Merrick 2 gears. And then he signs it with his signature and folds it up and he gives it to you. And he said, he's a reclusive type. He don't go out much, but he he might have some good information for you. He knows the area down there most better than anyone else. If that's where you're headed, he might be a good place to stop.
Okay. Have my orders changed at all?
They have become more grave. I will be watching him here, but he is not allowed. I will. I'll keep him here. I don't think he should be leaving these 2 towns or going any farther south. I don't trust him. He's skirting around the law type, money bags type. Kind of get whatever they want whenever they want it.
Yeah. Okay.
And still, that magic he used, man, didn't sit right. Didn't sit right at all. I ain't a magicer. You probably know more than I do, but I didn't feel.
Can you explain, could I do an Arcana check, if you were to explain what he saw? Could I do an Arcana check to see if I recognize?
With disadvantage. And roll manual die. Don't put it in the chat so they don't see it.
That checks out. So disadvantage on a Arcana. Arcana is a flat 0, so we got a 2 and a 14. That's gonna be a hard pass on that. Can you
it's
explain
like
it?
magic that's like up and down and to the left and right. It's more like waves. Like waves magic. Is waves magic a thing? Like, he's terrible at explaining it to you.
Yeah, I thought he'd be able to explain it to me, and it would just be my understanding that I was rolling, not him being able to explain shit.
Nah, it's because you got disadvantage because he has no idea what magic is. So if you had not rolled with disadvantage, you'd had a higher number. So it's yeah, he has no idea how to explain it, but he just keeps saying it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right.
Okay. So, probably most important question. Say the mission's a success. We find the tomb. We find the medal. I'm suddenly in a room with 4 people. 4 of us in total, plus the little dragon. I don't have backup. In theory, it's a 4-on-1.
Don't try to take him out. That's probably not best. Just try to keep communication from going out. Don't let anybody. All of them. Don't let anyone send any messages back to Tresgar or anyone else until we hear about it first. Until we get some of our people on the ground.
And how do I get in contact with you from down there?
If you can make it back to 2 gears, he can get a message to me. He's resourceful folk.
Okay. I'll also fill him in about and catch him up to speed on everything we've learned about her.
On who, her?
And Calatrax, right?
Oh, sure.
And because the bronze knights are coming, so any kind of support he can lend us or any sort of aid in slowing down.
Shit.
What's that look like? I feel like that's going to be important for us.
I don't know, friend. Shit. Shit. That ain't good news. That ain't good news at all. Tell 2 gears, because he's gonna have some. If she's on your tail, they're gonna be at his place while y'all are farther south. Tell 2 gears when you get there. I will, if she comes through the bridge, because there's only this bridge on through. So if she comes through here, then we will do what we can to slow her down. Maybe take out one or two of the bronze guards if she comes through. But we can try to do that quiet, like.
And that's if they come through these towns.
And it's the only bridge. So
Or
they're
that-
gonna be coming through here if they need to get to you. Unless they got some other way. There ain't no
Okay.
other way. They gotta be
They'll
coming
try
through
to
here.
take out some here. I'll tell two gear will also try to slow them down, buy us as much time.
Best we can, yeah.
Do you think it would be wise to try to pit whatever that giant's bridge against her?
Damn. That'd be tricky. That'd be a tricky one. You could try. If you can get a fight between all of them on Giant's Bridge like that, that's dangerous. That's a wild card. That's a wild card. But it could work.
I mean, is it more or less wild than us taking on the beast alone or us taking on the bronze guards alone?
I would say if you end up doing it, that's a last resort. Don't try to do that first.
Oh.
There's lots of ways to take out bronze guards. They are slow. They're got a lot of weight on them. They don't travel well if they're in full armor. They usually take it off. They only put it on when they're ready for combat. So you catch them off guard, you might be able to take one or two out. But if they coming for you, they're gonna be on guard. Last thing you want to do is let them be the ones attacking. If they're attacking you, you in trouble. If you attacking them, you might be able to pull it off. Don't be on defensive against the bronze guards.
Well, that's why I thought draw them to the bridge and then come back on behind them and pinch them.
You could try. Sure as hell try. Thing is, man, I don't know what's at that bridge. That's the only thing. I don't know what's there. And ain't nobody come back. Listen, if you do try it, if you go for it, don't take the axe. Leave it somewhere so some of my boys can pick it up if we need to. It's not going to do anybody any good if it's buried at the bottom of the river.
That may be a hard sell, but I'll do what I can. Any other news or updates that you have that I'm trying to think?
No, festival's going on nice. Looks like the fight is going to happen. The championship bout. It's going to be going through just fine. But that's why we can't have any ruckus. If you can at least hold it off till after the tournament happens, after we celebrate the heroes of old, and that is out of the way. If you can at least hold it off that long, they gonna sign a treaty, boy. They're gonna sign a treaty against all the Crag-Hearted.
What time frame are we working with?
Starts in about 10 days. I don't know how long
it starts in 10 days?
Starts in 10 days.
Okay.
I don't know how long it's going to go, but if you can just keep this from blowing up till then, you'll be doing the humans a mighty great favor. You'll be doing everyone a great favor. If they sign that treaty and everything just goes through without a problem, then we can handle all this on our own. All right? Yeah, they probably getting suspicious. Let's get you back in there. You do, boy. Carry him out and try not to drink so much. All right, just try. He just pats you, and he is a little surprised because this is probably the most sober he has seen you in a long time.
Well, that's because I just came from the store that I bought all the alcohol at.
True, yeah, you have not gotten to drink it yet.
I just kind of open my bag and show him my 5 bottles of gin.
Not so much, boy. Jeez.
Oh, wait,
all right.
In theory, Before we get everybody back, in theory, gin has enough alcohol to be explosive.
Yeah, it's a very high grade alcohol, that gin.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, what would, with my improvised weapon, can that be a ranged weapon throw?
Yeah, but it has to be like on fire or something.
Or somebody has to shoot it with a firebolt.
Sure.
Hmm.
Bringing everybody back in as you are walking back into the place. This is a great game. I just freaking love the Crag. It's great. You all see Brom walk back in with Melthorne. And they kind of walk back in. You heard a little bit of conversation outside, but I don't think, do any of you all speak Crag talk?
No.
I don't think any of y'all do. I think it's just him. It's a indigenous
Can I roll
language
an
of the
insight
humans.
To like, were they shouting? Were they just talking? Was it just gruff talk, or
Give me an insight
what
check.
kind of? Okay.
Can I do an insight check to see if I heard anybody from outside?
Give me a perception check.
Would Izzy have been able to understand them?
So no.
No.
Izzy wouldn't.
No.
Okay.
Am I rolling this? I can roll this in here, right?
Yes, you can roll that in there.
Oh, shoot. Technically I got rolled with advantage, but the first dice roll was a 22.
Okay. You would have heard a little bit of excited talking. You probably would have also heard some of the poetic pattern of the poem being read out loud. But that's about it.
That's not a lot for 22.
No, it's not. But you were outside having your own conversation, so you're half listening in. You probably would have also heard like a lot of Crag-Hearted hitting a table.
Fucking asshole.
Insight Trevs, you probably would have. No, that's a different insight check. That's a lower one. No, you probably don't catch what's going on. That's a 6 on the die for that, but yeah. So you all head back in. Hello.
Hey, Pel, real quick.
Yeah.
What should I roll for those two studies?
You're gonna roll either Arcana or History with advantage. What were the questions that you had again?
One was just more information about the vault.
Okay.
The second one was more information about the Giant's Bridge.
Sure.
So the first roll will be for the
Both
vault,
of
the
them
second roll will be for the bridge.
History, then. Advantage
History?
history checks. Yep.
Okay.
So a 6. You got most of the information about Mehron's vault already. So you don't really find anything more on that. So let's move on into Giant's Bridge. Okay. The 15, you hear quite a bit about Giant's Bridge, actually. You hear that it is a fabled tale of somewhere along the mists there is this second bridge. Way far south, though. South, and the farther south on the River Tormag you all have already experienced is more dangerous, right? So it's not great territory, and you know that people have been trying to do research on it for some time. You know that the river inside of the city, let me change you all to the big map here. You all would know that Lehron, Lehron. I'm sorry, I think that's how you say it. If my map will come into focus. There we go. Lehron is a place where there has been research coming out regarding Giant's Bridge. You're not entirely sure what that entails, this place here. You're not entirely sure what that entails, but you know that if you were to try to do research on Giant's Bridge, it would probably be there. Some people may know about it there. So
Cool.
that's pretty much
Appreciate
all
it.
you get. So yeah, at this point, what's his face comes back, Tresgar, and Tresgar is a little bit more excited now. He's a little happier that he's hearing some good news about what's going on, and Tresgar, I think, is going to take the last question for himself, and he is going to ask. I think out of all the things, he's gonna ask, I need the most recent history you have on any activity or mention of disciples of Orcus. And at this, Melthorne leans back in his chair a bit, and he holds out his hand, and he just gives the whole bag to him. And he takes it, and Melthorne looks. Not a word I say leaves this room, you understand? And he nods, and the two security guards nod, and he looks intently at the rest of you all, and you all give him a nod.
Am I still not paying attention?
Technically, yes.
Okay, so he's not looking at me then.
Yeah, yeah. And he
Okay.
kind of looks. They have risen again. I read a lot, but a lot of people come to me to ask questions. I have had a visit from a dragonkin researching Orcus. She would prefer to remain unnamed, though from the sound of it you may already know who I am referring to. And they all, and Tresgar kind of looks and looks back at you all, see if you all understand what he's talking about.
I'll spit on the floor in disgust.
One of the halflings will like, oh, and with a little rag come over and try to wipe it up, but he
They don't pay me enough for this shit.
he kind of looks and he says, she was here researching. Normally, when people research Orcus, they are looking for ways to quell the zombies that wander the wastes, or stop interference with any resurrection magic attempted. She was looking for power. She did not look to quell the undead, but to control them. And that itself is dangerous. She would most likely have me killed if I told you this, and so you all should know I did not tell you. Understand? She has been looking for the source of this realm's lingering undead necromantic energy for some time. During and after the war, her research has not ceased. And I would think it best she not find out about this little project you all are working on.
Agreed.
As I think your crag hearts are spent. And he looks at Tresgar. And my life is thoroughly in danger. I would prefer, if you all have no more money, for you all to get out of my study.
I pack up my stuff and head out to the front.
Sure.
I'll message Milo again. Be like, hey, he wants us to leave.
I act like I didn't hear anything, and I just kind of linger, see how long I can linger, just to tick Melthor off, because he's a jerk.
Milo,
Hey,
as
Pelly.
you are researching over there, you see one of the halflings actually walks up to you and sits down with a book and like pretends to be reading as well, and leans over. You're the Reckoning, aren't you?
Out of character. Shit! In character. I've heard the name before. Why do you ask?
And he taps twice on his head like this. I've not seen those in a long time.
Is there something that needs to be handled while I'm here?
And he slides you a small pamphlet. Looks like personal writings from a book. Actually, no, he doesn't have the pamphlet. He doesn't. We're gonna cut that out. He's gonna just give you this
Okay.
information. He's gonna say, he's gonna lean and just say, they haven't studied. Most don't study the old ways anymore. The blessings Mesor gives. It looks as though you have not chosen yet, protector or entertainer. Am I right?
I am
Thank
still
you.
seeking the right path.
War is difficult, and I am glad it is over. The halflings are growing, and in this city, even here, even though my boss is an ass, he is not evil. I would pray we do not need protectors anymore. We need more of a reason to continue living.
No offense, but the day people no longer need protecting, that doesn't bode well for me. There's only one other way, and it normally doesn't end up positively, if you know what I mean.
Then it seems you have chosen a path. And
Until
Milo,
I no longer have a choice.
you feel your skull widening a little as those horns grow a little bit thicker and begin to poke a little bit out of the hair. It's fine. It is your choice to make. And he closes the book and heads back into the library.
Can I do an insight check as to what I said that may have elicited the physical response?
You know exactly what it is. I don't think you need to roll for that.
I don't. I do, but I don't. Like,
What you
maybe we
don't
talk
know
later
is
about
why
that.
the conversation with him is triggering it specifically. But you do
Yes.
get a feeling. Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. $12.
12. You're not entirely sure, really, but I would say you get the feeling that he himself is a practitioner of the old ways. And
Okay.
you're betting this kind of a conversation between two practitioners kind of echoes in the ears of Mesor.
This happened in the library. This
Yeah,
conversation.
in the library before he leaves.
Okay.
They echo in the ears of Mesor, and you head out? Question mark.
One more time. Did I see that conversation at all, or
No, you all have left already. He said he lingered behind a little bit, so I don't think you all saw that.
it was Tresgar, or
Mm-mm.
I guess I don't know anyway.
No, one of the other halflings that were
The
helping.
other guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, spooked and tweaking. I shuffle out.
Okay.
Hey, fellas.
Yeah.
As we're leaving, I feel like Hog and I have probably been together enough that I want to like send him a signal that just kind of says we need to talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Like a grunt. I'll grunt back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
But,
a silent
like,
little grunt. You kind of look at each other, and you kind of nod, and Hog looks at you and kind of nods, and yeah.
Okay.
But as you all step out, Tresgar's right there, and he's like, "Well, that was fortuitous. Here, let me treat you all to dinner. At least I can do that for you, going on this ridiculous journey for us. Come!" And he begins walking towards the bridge.
All right. Is dinner on the other side?
It certainly is, friend. It certainly is.
All right.
And he begins walking you all, if you all follow, towards the general
Sure.
store, over to the bridge. Now, when you get to the bridge, I want to pause here a moment, and you see the gate that is built on one side of the bridge looks very much so in a draconic style, like the rest of the buildings and things around. But as you all get there, the two guards stand at attention, and they look, and Tresgar waves like this, and they both lean back and just let you all through the gate and onto the bridge without any words. And as he gets to the bridge, you see that the bridge is made of stone, but the stone is almost like yellowish in color. And it doesn't look like gold, but it looks very different than the rest of the stone around. But it goes across, and it has this very strange ancient architecture to it. It's holding fast, but it looks very, very old. And you walk across, there's some carts coming on the other side as you cross this bridge, and you look over the side, and you can see beneath you the iced river Tormag, just stretching out and farther to the south, getting lost in the snowy fog far away. As you cross to the other side, you see there is two human guards on this side, and they are just standing, waiting, and they see Tresgar as he gets to the side and waves, and you all walk past them over to a building, and I will move you all there.
Quick question.
Yes.
The ice, how is it too thick to see through?
Yes, it is fall time. I don't think you'll be able to see through it right now. But you all head over to the Mourning Widow. And
just a quick question, sorry,
sure.
fellas. On the way over, as we're walking, is there a moment where I can sort of privately have that conversation with Brom? We're walking over.
You would have to make a check if you were trying to do it now. And you don't know, you wouldn't know if other people were trying to overhear you or not. It's up to you whether or not you want to attempt it now or wait till later.
I'll just ask Grom as shortly and as quietly as possible. Is it urgent?
You're muted,
Kyle. Muted.
we can talk while swapping guard tonight.
So be it. Okay, that's it.
All right.
And on the walkover, I want to message Milo again to tell him the question that Tresgar asked and the response, and then just make a final. Yeah, just like these this group may put us in a conflict with the dragon woman. I do not know how to feel about it.
We'll deal with the dragon as it comes. I'm more worried about present company. Just keep your eyes out. They seem decent, but being that honest is it's bound to lead to some trouble.
Okay. You all head to the Mourning Widow, and I'm going to just drop the Mourning Widow inside of you all's things here. This place seems a lot more lively, and it looks more like a traditional tavern in D&D history may. Right? It's a bigger building. There is music. There is a person who is kind of playing like a set of drums in the corner, just softly over some bongos there. There is a separate set of rooms. It's all one story. It's not a two-story building, but there are some rooms in the back that are private rooms as opposed to the large space that you all were in the other side. They have food, they have drinks, they have some female orcs and humans who are here as well, who are just kind of walking around, like moving between the different tables, bringing a couple drinks every once in a while, smiling and laughing, and you all are welcomed to the Mourning Widow. The Mourning Widow has this young human man who's like kind of frantic a little bit at the front, and he's just kind of pointing, and he looks very like frazzled as everyone's going through, and it looks like you're hitting roughly the evening, like the end of the day. So a lot of people look like they're coming back from work and are a little bit more rowdy. So he's like geared up for the end of the day here.
Can I remind the DM one thing? I wanted to make sure that while we were in town, I'm listening for anything reckoning wise, just as we had talked about it last time.
Certainly. Yep. Um, I am keeping an eye on that. But for now, there's nothing. For now, you all arrive at this inn, and uh, Peter, ha ha! Is like, and he looks, and Peter, the guy who's really frazzled, looks, and when he sees Tresgar, is like super happy. It's like, yes, come on over here. You gonna buy some more drinks? Yes, we're gonna get some more food and wine for all of my and he doesn't say wine, he says gin. Food and gin for all of my friends here. They've been on the road for quite some time. Do you have any rooms left? And he's like, we have one right now. I want it. And he says, well, it'll be a little expensive. We got quite a few people. It's going to be 10 Crag-Hearts. Is that all right? Certainly, yes. And he throws it down on the table. And he's just like, just in a happy, joyous mood. They bring out these trays of fish. Like, it's like the whole fish, right? And they've been like cross hatched a little bit, and you can peel off the bits of it. The whole fish is there. There's bread and drinks, and he's just living it up, having a good time with all of y'all. He's like, yeah, you're more than welcome to stay in the room. We have a room here as well. It'll be a great time. Just relax, enjoy, and let me know if you need anything. Y'all are great. This is a great day. You all have gotten so much done, and I'm so happy. And he's just treating you all to a good time. Um, he kind of wants you all he's just excited to have you all here. Is there anything else you all want to do before you all just eat and rest? No,
I
no.
don't think so. I think I'm still thinking about talking with Brom, but
Yeah. I,
otherwise nothing.
yeah. I would go. Oh wait, no, never mind. That question was answered already. I was gonna ask like, how did you come across the axe? But he said how they came across the axe. Oh, you know what? No, I'll ask him. So, my friend, and I sort of like cheers him.
Mm. He cheers.
How much have you heard about me in my travels?
We
I
heard.
did not want to make myself.
Indeed, you did ask me to find him.
Yeah, we heard. More that you were a loner. We did hear that, but at the same time that you knew quite a bit and that you were doing research on. He kind of paused for a bit. The guy, the
Yes, the necromancer.
Kronos. Yeah, him. That guy. Yes, we heard that you were doing research on him, and we figured it'd be a good place as any to start. Like he apparently got a lot of his power from studying the old dwarven ways, so maybe you came across something.
Hmm. Now, being an orc yourself, did you were you around for those times?
And he kind of looks a little bit more the tail end of it.
I spent most of my time over on the side of the halflings and the dragonkin, so their views were a little biased. I have not heard from, you know, an orcish fellow like yourself. And then I switched to orcish, and I'm like, perhaps you can provide insight where they could not.
Well, he kind of sits back. Those weren't great times, to be honest with you. It wasn't great. My father fought in a lot of those wars. Um, First on the side of Kronos, and then against him. It was reckless, is what it was. A lot of the things that actually helped us in the war that he taught, like learning how to be more frugal and redistributing things so that everybody was had what they needed, and learning from the humans how to fish the river, things like that. That's all stuff that we could have done without all the necromancy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody wanted to listen, right? And that king, he made people listen, if nothing else. He made people listen. Because the ideas were there, right? But there was nobody who like had like the like everybody thinks the orcs were all just whoever's strongest gets to do it, but strongest really is not clear cut, right? There's some people who are stronger in one thing than the other, and a lot of times when it came down to decision making, it was very messy. Dragon King, they didn't have that problem. They they had one very particular strength, and they just kill each other if any dissent rose. We try to talk things out, and when you talk stuff out for too long, nothing gets done. We had people who trained the wolves. We had people who trained and were better in physical combat. But can you really say somebody's stronger than another if one of them runs wolves? Like maybe yeah, 1-on-one. But if I can control a wolf pack,
Mm.
so it led to a lot of disorder, is what it did. And Kronos put a stop to all that. Put a stop real hard.
Are are there any in your culture Maybe wishes for the old ways to come back.
Not likely. A lot of orcs died during that time. A lot of them were sacrificed. Some to appease demons and some to summon demons. It was unanimous. The removal of Kronos. I mean, I don't even think the Order of the Undead would be fond of what he was doing. Like, it's very he left a scar on things, you know? Like, there wasn't just undead, it was demons that came out. Like, demons aren't zombies. They're not, you can't control them. They do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm. Well, I apologize to put such a sour mood on the festival.
It's fine. It's fine. No, it's one of those things like the stories you hear from your past, but it's not. I mean, you were alive during that time, so I guess it's not as. How old are you, by the way?
Quick question. I'm assuming we're close enough to where we're all hearing this.
Yes, you all do
Or
hear
are they
this
still
conversation. Yeah, you definitely do.
Can I insight check him to see? I want to see how deeply he may have been impacted by that. Like, I feel like the way he's talking, like his family had some deep ties to this, like to some of this necromancy stuff. So I'm wondering, I don't know if it'd be better to just ask or do insight on that one. Like,
Give me insight. Give me insight. You
Insight?
can ask, but you can give me insight as well.
Well, I know they're talking right now. I didn't want to interrupt.
But he does ask how old Vaga is.
Oh.
9, so nothing.
Yeah.
9 years old.
Yeah, I'm 9 years old. What did I say? Forget. I have been around several of your generations.
Never can tell with you elves. Several generations. Man. Imagine stuff you've seen. We don't even have history goes that far back. Well, I'm glad you joined us. Even if nothing else, you might have some experiential knowledge, Might come in handy.
Indeed.
Well.
Some magic.
Cheers.
Light fireworks, too.
Fireworks? What do you mean fireworks?
Well,
I kind of walk over.
I don't know.
I am not practiced in that, but I have seen them in my travels. Put on quite a show.
That might be fun.
I was talking about the light rain you did that killed.
I know that's what you meant, but
okay. I did not say it well. I didn't know what to call them.
No, he's purposely trying not to say that he can
trying
call
not
down
to say
a
it.
column of light that can burn his enemies to death.
So I want to kind of like tap him.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Okay, I want to kind of tap him with my mug, or the arm's got my mug in it, and how the way you're talking, it seems like there's a lot that your people went through with all of this, and with my people kind of going through a situation as of right now, we're not always seeing the nicest light. I just wonder, from someone who has some ties to the war, how many people still follow the path of necromancy? Like, how many? I mean, are there still people who delve in it on your end? Like, are there still schools for that type of thing, or do people just randomly, hey, I want to raise my brother from the dead? Woo!
If you allow him, he's gonna like grab you and just lift you off the ground. With just one arm, just lifts you straight up off the ground and puts you on the table in front of him. And he's like, and then there's you. I have no idea how you fit into all this.
So he pretty much just ignored everything I just said. I think
He does. He does completely. How
Alright.
did you get tied up with this lot?
Well,
Vago.
We found him, or he found us.
Yeah. Vago will chime in. He is an assistant of sorts, one who I have treated for wounds. He has been helpful.
and where Vaga goes, I go.
That makes sense. Everybody needs somebody to help them out. I guess it's been lonely out there in the waste, some of it. Good to have somebody with you. Y'all dating?
I
He is not
stand
my type.
as tall as I possibly can
It's
on the
very-
table.
Yeah, you still don't come up on the table. You
Not
still
at
don't
all.
come up to his
Like I'm
head.
at his chin. Like,
Yeah.
I walk literally. I walk up to him face to face or face to chin. Does he have any type of facial hair?
I don't think he does. No, he's
Okay.
clean
Grab him
shaved.
by the beard.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to grab some beer.
He's like, I'm not into that, man. Don't worry about it. No competition here.
You disrespected me by not answering. Now, I allowed you to pick me up. I allowed you to put me on this table. You will not. I repeat, and I get on my tippy toes. You will not disrespect me, nor my compatriots.
Honest
Now-
question, Fred. Don't need to get
I
all
drop back
antsy
down.
here. And he's like, and he waves over and he's like, do you have any halflings? Yes, just any halflings. All right, cool. No, bring one around. Bring one around. He's like, listen, no disrespect at all. Didn't mean anything like that. Sorry, I just didn't know what your relationship was. I don't assume. I was just asking. For your question,
And he
I
still
guess.
clearly missed me. Like, he's clear, that wasn't even the reason why I'm mad, but he's clearly like...
He's like, well, and I've a lot of the orcs, they've had people who have passed away in that time, and I'm not immune to that. I had two brothers and my father. All of them are gone now. Something. It was a bearded thing. It's long spikes coming out of his face. Just tore him to shreds.
Would I have any knowledge of what this might possibly be, just in passing or anything? Would I have heard of something like that?
Not really. You can give me a religion check, actually.
Oh.
Can I make a relation check?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon and make one as well.
That was a
Are we
2.
still talking in orc?
No, he switched back to common when Milo jumped up and started talking.
Wow. Milo and I both rolled nat ones.
Yeah, it was not great. Hog, you want to give it a shot? Sweet. That's a nat 20. Hog, you specifically
Are you serious?
have heard of one of these
That's awesome.
because in your travels you have had to battle one before.
Now,
It was
again,
more a battle of escape and not a battle of conflict. But as he was talking, he's describing a creature, this demon, not a undead, not a zombie, but a demon that has this long beard with tentacles on it. It's a bearded devil. It is a thing that exists that has a dangerous spear that it uses, and its beard has these stingers on it that are poisonous.
So
And
like
they
a,
are
like a hornet hard stinger thing, or more like a Davy Jones Cthulhu.
like more a Davy Jones Cthulhu type thing.
Okay.
Like it's a terrible beast, but you know that they are also strangely fiercely loyal.
To something.
To something. Whatever summoned them, they are fiercely loyal. Just because they like not being in hell. So if you got them out, they appreciate you and will do. They are more intelligent. I think is probably the best description. They are intelligent demons. They are not just willy nilly things. They think and they plan.
Now, in the conversation, I forgot? Did he say what these things are called, or?
He did not. He did not know what they were called, but
Okay.
you do know what they were called. And
But he said
just
he brought this
described
up
them
when he was
as
looking at Milo's horns.
he described them when he said when Milo asked what
Oh,
relationship his family had, and he said his family was torn apart. Two brothers and
Wow.
his father torn apart by a demon that served Kronos.
got it. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll. So if I know this sort of from like listening to him and sort of from my memory or what I've seen and heard and done, then I won't say anything yet.
Sure.
But I think I'll want to tell Milo later.
Yeah. At this
Yeah.
time,
Anyway.
a halfling woman walks up. She is wearing just kind of like almost a bikini almost. And just kind of walks up like, yes. Oh, yeah, thank you for coming. Wanted to apologize to this guy. Do you have space tonight? And she was like, certainly. And looks at, like, right at Milo.
Up at.
Up at, yes, because Milo's on the table right now. You coming?
And he takes like you visually hear him gulp.
Timmy?
I appreciate it, Dollface, but we've got some things we got to do before we leave. So unfortunately, I'll take a pass. I look back at him. I appreciate the gesture. It is taken into consideration.
Timmy?
And I just hop off the table and I start lapping the bar.
You see him, like, lean over to the lady. Just follow him around a little bit. He'll be fine. And she, like, winks and just kind of walks over towards the bar. But the day goes on without issue. Is there anything else you all need to do before nightfall? I will say, yeah.
I don't think so.
You all relax, and he gives you a key to your room. That is one of the back rooms on this building in the widow.
Yeah.
And you all are welcome to rest for the night and take watches and things like that. I know, Milo, you're probably looking to milk, probably.
I was going to ask you, do you have a preference? Because I know you have the whole 24-hour thing.
Hmm.
Does it matter if I, like, for example, if I milk her in the morning, her new 24 hours, I'm assuming if we're going by, it would start the next morning. If I do it at night, that means she doesn't have it again until the next night?
Correct.
Or are we doing a actual 12-hour thing?
It's 24 hours. So
24 hours?
yeah.
So if I
you
milk her
do it
now,
tonight,
she
it
will
would
not
be
have
next-
it back until...
Correct.
Might have it?
Okay. I will also have...
If you do it now, right, you get the poison, you let her take a long rest, and then she will, during the next day, not run out of her poison attack.
Got you. So if I do it at the end of the day, she'll have her attack during the day.
Correct.
No.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay.
There's her.
So, you all rest. We will also rest. Let's take a quick 5-minute break. We'll come back and we'll start on the change of guard between Braum and Hog. Sound good? All right.
16.
16. Awesome. That's great.
All right.
See you
So
soon.
one more dose.
back, everyone. And I think everyone is back as well. So we're going to start off. I'm going to ask Trevor. Well, I guess you're not the
Yeah.
impetus of the conversation, but do you want to have this conversation with Kyle privately?
Um, I mean, I do trust everyone to like stay in character and not like metagame. So it's up to you.
Okay. Brom, is something you want to be just between you and him, or do you think it's okay?
I mean, I think it's. I don't necessarily care either. Again, it's up to you. It's what you want for the game.
Yeah.
What your
I
preference would
think
be for us.
I think what we will do is could both Vodka and Milo, when they come back, if you can give me perception checks, I think that'll let me know. Because you all are just kind of in the room together taking watches. I am assuming you all are not just going to sleep and you all are still taking watches even though you're inside of this place.
Right.
But that is up to
Uh,
you
uh,
all.
as long as you know, like in character, we're definitely being super secretive about it,
Okay.
as possible. But
Sure.
I mean, in theory, we could even step out in front of the room and have a conversation. You know, it's the middle of the night. We can just police the hallway really fast if that.
Yeah, if you'd like to. You take a step out. If
Yeah,
that is the
probably.
case,
Yeah.
then no, I think it's fine. We've done enough break off sessions for today. This is just information that you all don't have, and we'll just go from there. Sound okay? I
okay.
think we'll be fine.
Yep.
So it's a night. Most everyone has kind of headed out for the evening. It's not super busy. Um, you hear like most of the people downstairs have all either retired to their rooms or retired to have some private time with some of the denizens here. Uh, and you are able to speak. Brom, you see outside just a little bit like mumbling and praying a little bit to himself. Probably you see Hog outside the room as you are going out to relieve him of guard.
Rom, something you would wish to bring to my attention.
I have a contact. When we get to what? Sorry, what's the name of that town again?
Leron.
Liron. Okay. When we get to Liron, there is a dwarf who his name is
LeBron James.
Should have been. Should have been that.
no, definitely not. Merrick Two Gears.
Gnome.
Merrick
It
is
is
a
very
local.
specific that he is a gnome, not a dwarf. There are no dwarfs.
Oh, yeah, no, that checks out. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I forgot they're all dead.
That'd be a
They're all
very.
dead.
That's a
Anywho,
very.
uh,
That would be a big
my bad.
deal if there was a dwarf. Yes, but no.
I guess I literally have letter 2 gnome written in my inventory list, so said dwarf. Anywho, he's building a bridge, and he is a contact for the Giant's Bridge.
Seem to be dealing with a lot of bridges lately. He's building another bridge. We know that the southernmost points of the river are quite chaotic, quite violent. Is that where he plans to build this bridge?
And please, that face makes me feel like I'm wrong. You said he was building a bridge.
He was investigating Giant's Bridge.
You said he had a bridge.
Yeah, he knows about it. He knows where it is.
Okay, close enough. Okay,
Okay,
I
so
lied.
I'll just
He does.
react to that instead.
Thank you.
Alright.
Okay,
Yeah.
he knows where Giant's Bridge is. The other conversation that I had was, if worse comes to worse, and we end up, I found out there's some sort of a creature that lives on Giant's Bridge. No,
Is it-
there's only
Is it giant?
while that would make sense, there's literally zero intel, but that it exists, whatever it is. If worse comes to worse, and Calcitrax tracks us that far, we can try to pit them against each other. Whatever this creature be, and the Bronze Knights.
This is good information. Thank you for letting me know. I believe that when we get to Giant's Bridge, we will need to heed the warning written on the axe, and there are things we will indeed need to beware. So, if Calatrax is indeed following us, or if she beats us there, so far, I do trust Tresgar. I've known him for long enough that I feel like we might need all the allies we can get. So this is a good plan.
What information came out in the study?
Is that in character? You saying that?
Yeah.
What study? Who study?
You all are
library.
sleeping, I think. At the
You're
moment.
asleep.
Shut up, you're asleep.
It was Melthorne study. Yeah, sorry.
We actually no, like out of character. I'm having trouble. What did we? I feel like I got
You guys
so
were
much
happy.
information
I know you guys were happy about something, right? Like I came back inside and you seemed happy. Tresgar seemed exceptionally happy for some reason that worries me greatly. Things like that.
What happened is that Tresgar funded the answers to a few questions from Melthorne. And in so many words, the result is that we have strengthened our resolve in the direction we are traveling. So it would seem that all the decisions we're making are as good as we can make for the information that we have.
Did
Tresgar
they
on our side?
Did they provide more information about where the axe came from?
Wait, did I hear about where the axe came from? Was I there when he said it, or was that not?
Yeah, you were there because he told Milo to step away, and Milo still heard it. But yes, so if you want to relay what Tresgar told you about where it came from, you can as well.
Yeah, I'll relay that.
Okay, he tells you that they found the axe.
Is it what I already know, or is there a discrepancy in the story?
He tells you that they found the axe in a cave up to the north, and that there was
They taken a cave what?
in the north, in the Upper Isles.
Oh, in the north.
And they said they're not sure. They didn't notice that there was blood on it, but that it was hastily left by whoever it was. So they weren't able to see who it was who left it there. But he says that the humans recovered it for them, and that they gave it to him in order to give to the rest of them. So basically, Tresgar is saying that the humans gave it to him, and they found it in a cave, and they didn't know where it came from or who delivered it. That's what Tresgar told them.
One more thing, Brom. Melthorne has not only answered questions for us, but he has also been in contact with Calatrax.
I was back for that part, I think, right?
Oh, you were back for that part?
Yeah, he
oh,
was.
Okay,
He
well,
came
I think
in
so,
for,
yeah.
for the final question. He was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, that's about it. Yeah.
What? Can you tell me more about how you know Tresgar and your relationship with him?
Tresgar was there for me when I left my hometown. I grew up without parents, and I met him on the road to hear.
And what
I
of
think I'm
the-
gonna make a move to go inside? Not like impolitely so, but
Hmm.
I think like he's sort of getting ready to. Wait, so I was on guard, right? I'm going off guard now.
Correct.
Appellees? Okay, yeah.
I'll actually stick an arm out to like hold him for a second. What of the other two? Like, how much do you trust them?
I trust Tresgar, and he told me to find Vaga, and Vaga led us to Milo. From what I can tell, we all know the danger of this mine being controlled by, well, anyone. And all I want is to maintain this peace that we have worked so hard to reach.
Brom,
Can I double check that he's being truthful and all of that?
give me an insight check.
Yep.
Are you okay with that?
Trevor,
Yeah, I know.
do not roll in chat, but roll the appropriate stat. Either you are trying to convince him because you're telling the truth and you'd be rolling persuasion, or if you are lying, you would be rolling deception. But don't roll it in chat, just roll it.
Oh, okay. How do I private roll to the GM again?
Just
Last
do you have
GM
like
roll?
do
have
you have
literal
dice?
dice.
Try to roll dice,
Okay.
and then just text me.
Oh, damn it.
And
I mean,
Brom got a
see.
You
4.
kind of don't have to.
Well, I mean, you never know.
That he could nat 1 lie to me.
Or now one persuade.
That's very. Either way, it could still, in theory, be worse.
Hey guys, FYI, if I forget, I can reroll ones. Please remind me.
Oh yeah, you did roll
Can I
a
just-
1 earlier. You did not have to take that. You are right.
Can I reroll 1 if I roll it?
No. All right. So,
Oh.
as he looks at you, you think he's pretty honest, as honest and straightforward as he can be, and you've seen that he in the past has been a very honest person as well, right? He's very
That's fair.
straightforward about everything that he says, so he doesn't look like he is lying to you at the moment.
I'm sorry. I wasn't necessarily concerned. I just, kind of wanted to make sure I understood how things were fitting together.
Okay. Your hand is in front of him right now, preventing him from going back inside.
Oh, my bad. I'll remove that. And relieve him for guard duty for the
I'll
night.
allow it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, sure. No, I feel like it happens smoothly enough that
It's
I bid him good night.
a little bit confrontational. You notice that he did stop you, but then
right.
he relents.
But then I don't think that I've been traveling with Brom all this time, and I don't think it's out of character.
I mean, I don't think that'd be out of character at all for Brom.
It's not really, but you feel like he's like, okay, and then he lets you go, and you go inside and head off to sleep.
Yeah. Okay.
Milo, you are sleeping, and you awake to a whisper. Hey, are you sure? I already got paid. And you wake up, and inside the room, there is a little halfling lady.
This is the same room that we're all trying to sleep in right now?
That was my first question.
Yes, it is 100%.
God damn it, Milo!
And she's
You're
kind of
on guard, man. Like,
she's kind of peeks in, and is just like, just checking.
have I done my full rest at this point? Like, or is she waking up me up in the middle of my
Yeah, it's the middle of
full
the rest. You haven't had a rest yet.
Also, follow-up question. How did she get past Hog and I at the front door?
I would not have allowed her past.
Same.
There's like a
ain't
little
nobody-
halfling hole that
In character, I don't think I would have. But
I don't think you
little
would have
spots in the
either.
rafters.
So I'm going to look at the. Okay, so if the door isn't, as I say, if I'm sitting up, I'm assuming I'm laying down. If I sit up and the door is in front of me, I'm assuming my team is in front of that door this way. Where is she in relation to me? Like, where am I hearing?
Closer to the window.
Right side, left side, back, behind me.
You.
Behind me? But she's in the room.
Yes.
Did Izzy not kill her yet?
No,
Just
Izzy has
asking.
not killed her yet.
Does Izzy know that she's there? Like,
quite startled as well.
Oh, Izzy's going to freak out, spread her wings, and like hiss at her like
she's like, "Whoa,
she's crazy."
All right, I can take a hint. And she walks over to the window, opens it, and just crawls out. Give me a perception check.
For who? Me?
Yeah, just you.
13.
Yeah. As she crawls out and starts making her way back to, you assume, her quarters, you just see a white bird fly out and into the night.
Fly out?
Out of another window.
Can I go look to see where that window, where that bird was coming from? Can I figure that part out with that or no?
You would see it's probably a window the next door over. Probably. Like one or two doors over. You don't know who's in those, but a couple doors down.
Have I seen this bird before? Have we seen this bird before?
Nope.
Is there anything about it? I'm assuming I know.
I mean, it's strange because it's a raven, but it's white.
Is it out of my range for me to speak to it?
Yes, because it was flying away.
It was flying away.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to send Izzy where I think it came from.
Sure.
I'm going to open up the window and send Izzy out the back.
Give me a stealth
to where I
check
think
for
it
Izzy.
came. Stealth for who? Me or Izzy?
Izzy.
Okay. Okay, well, how about this before that? Because I'm going to go tell them that I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Afterwards. Do I still need to do a stealth check?
No, you need to do a stealth check for Izzy because you're trying to have her go and look at the other room, right?
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. All right.
You should turn
14.
off your automatically roll with advantage or disadvantage. But we can do that for Izzy in a second. I forgot to do that for her. But
Okay.
yes, she rolls 14.
Yeah. I was wondering if maybe she had some type of attribute or something with that, but I thought that's why I was doing it. But I don't see anything. That's fine.
Before she gets to the window, you see that very quickly a curtain is pulled in front of it. And she can't see into the window now.
Okay. But I've pretty much confirmed where the bird came from, though, now.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there enough time if I try to go do that? Is there still enough time in the night? Like, how early is it in the night?
It's like around 2 o'clock.
A.M.? P.M.?
A.M. You all stayed up pretty
Oh,
late. And then
okay.
after that, you all went to bed. So it's just around 1 or 2 a.m. It's cold.
Question. Um, he said that he was going to come tell us about that. Can I do a history check on her to know how long
Does
she's
she?
had? Is that
Does
a?
he come back and tell you all about that? Do you tell them what you saw?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the front door and let them know, yo, the windows are open in the back too, and then I also tell them about the Raven.
Okay. Before anything else, no roll required. Do you recognize that bird?
What door? Milo? What
I point
motherfucking
it out.
door?
I point him out and tell him I'm heading out the back window to go to the back of the door. If he's going to the front, I'm headed to the back.
So just to get a mental image on like how our team is set up at the moment. I was outside. Hog was just going back into the room.
Correct.
Milo comes to the door where Hog and I are basically at.
Right.
Vaga is asleep on a large bed that we were all going to sleep in, or sitting there. I mean, I don't know.
He's meditating.
Yeah,
so he
I'm
doesn't
like,
even
I'm like trancing.
Did he
in a
kind of
corner.
wake up enough, or whatever you want to consider it, to be involved in that
Sure,
conversation?
Yeah, especially if y'all are waking him up.
Yeah, yeah. If
I'm
there's
not
like a lot
waking
of
Vaga up.
They all
I'm not
see me
waking Vaga.
storm to the door then, and I'm going to kick the door down.
Give me an athletics
And I
check.
cut around the back.
An
So do I need
athletics
a
check
check for that? All right.
with advantage due to extreme anger.
No.
Wait,
That'd be a 16.
So,
Oh.
I was just heading inside, so
Yeah.
either I would have seen what Brom did before I went inside.
You heard all
or
of this.
I was
This is all public. Yeah, you definitely heard all of that.
I was probably in the motion of going inside when this.
Right, when I
Yeah,
came
yeah.
through past you.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah, and then I rolled a 7 on stealth, trying to come out the back way while he's kicking in the front door. I'm trying to go into the window the bird came from.
The window is locked, but you do get to that window, and you hear on the other side a loud thundering crash as Brom kicks in a door.
Can I try to break the window at the same time?
I mean, sure.
Yeah!
What do you
Get
want
up,
me to roll?
Milo!
What do you want me to roll?
Athletics?
Okay.
Also, another follow-up question. This building, are we in a 1-story? Are we on the 2nd story? Is Milo like hanging on with one arm and not trying to die? Okay.
One-story building.
11.
Okay.
11. You break it, but you probably have to like put your arm through and finagle the lock and blah blah blah.
I'll send Izzy in to kind of help me with the lock part.
Sure. And eventually you get it open, but Brom, you open the door up right quick, and on the other side of it, there's no one there.
So assuming that I've made it in now, and he's just staring around the room trying to assassinate whatever is in there.
Yeah. You all look
They
around.
were just here.
no
They were
one-
just here. I saw the blinds close from the window. I saw the blinds close. Like as soon as the ring.
And so do we establish that I am awake
Yes.
and saw this? Okay.
Did you follow me or okay?
Yeah, I'll follow. Like, is the door down?
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
down.
she gone.
I would like to cast fairy fire in the room.
Okay.
So
it does light up. I know what you're doing. Nothing happens. Nothing lights up.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Was I aware? Did I end up knowing that there was a weird little prostitute in our bedroom at all?
Yeah, he would have told
I
you.
told you.
Yeah, he would have said.
Okay. Based on the fact that I know that there's therefore secret entrances and exits to these rooms, can I roll an investigation check
Sure.
to find maybe a hidden door that somebody used?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stay watch and send Izzy on the roof to watch as well. Should I roll perception for Izzy or myself?
Easy.
Izzy.
I only got a 10 on my perception check.
Sure. You look around. There's not.
17.
You're a little angry, right? But you don't see any trapdoors or anything like that. No. Izzy looks around and just very faintly catches the wings of that bird, but the night is quiet.
She doesn't see anybody running or anybody trying to hide.
Nope.
The bird, I'm assuming, went up into the sky.
Correct.
Is
Went
the edge of
up
it
and
gone?
out. Looked like it was going west.
West. Okay. Is there a city to the west of us? Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
there's-
probably would have told them on the way over there as soon as he told me who the bird was. I would have told them whose raven that is. That's Calatrax's bird.
At this point, you see a kind of haggard guy with brown hair kind of stumbling into the area. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on?" And you recognize it as Peter, the guy who owns the establishment.
Who's in this room?
This one? I don't even. And he kind of looks. This was Melkor's room.
Where's Melkor?
I don't know. Here, wasn't he watching the and from one of the other doors in the same hallway, you see it open, and Tresgar is there. And he kind of leans out, and he's like, what's going on? And inside of that same room, Melkor also leans out. What happened?
I guess I relay to them about the raven.
Here? And Melkor is
I go out.
visibly upset.
I make sure they're not seeing me. And I go back out the back.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're right here. That's why the door came down.
And Melkor, like, Peter's like, well, this is crazy. I don't know. And Melkor's like, I will pay for the damn door. This room here? He's like, yeah. And, well, I mean, he's like pointing to the room. He's like, yeah, that's my room. And he goes in there and he starts looking through his stuff to see, like, if anything was taken or anything like that.
What time is it?
2 a.m.
Okay.
You said the shopkeep or whatever you'd call him, the keep of this area, this building.
Yeah.
The keep of the widow. Show me where the hidden passages are.
And he's like, what do you mean?
I'm going to let you show me where the hidden passages are now, or I will burn this entire building to the ground with intimidation.
Sure. Give me intimidation.
19.
Okay, look, and he's just kind of like, and he's already frazzled. You broke a door down with a foot, and it's like in splinters, right? It's destroyed entirely. And he's just, well, look, and he kind of goes through, and he shows you that near the window there is a path that goes down, and he's like, it's just for, like, it's really just for, if one of the guys are beating up on one of my girls, it kind of helps them get out. Helps them go between the rooms. All the rooms are connected. And you look down, and it is a tunnel, and it looks like it goes to all of the rooms.
Could I do a survival check to tell if it had been used recently?
You can, yeah.
Like a tracking? Like, is that what it would be? Like a tracking?
Survival, yeah.
I got a 20.
20. Natural 20?
No.
Okay.
It was a 19 with a +1.
That's still good. That's still good. You can tell this one has recently been used. Right? It is... You feel like somebody big was in it. It wasn't it wasn't just like like the halfling one.
Right.
You can tell somebody big was in it recently just from the how things are kind of moved around inside. But it would be very difficult to tell because as you look, you think there's a lot of traffic down here. It would be difficult to tell who was going to what room. But you can definitely tell that whatever it was a larger individual.
Izzy is good with sense stuff, taste, smell, stuff like that, and dark vision. Would she be able to discern what was the most recent scent in that passageway and follow it?
That'd be tricky. Yeah. Give me a perception check. You'd have to roll really high.
She's like a bloodhound.
She's not like a bloodhound, but you can give it a try.
All right.
Well, minor design flaw, I guess.
Nah.
And with a 19 or with a 20, I can't tell which direction they went. Even like narrowing it down at all.
I would say you could tell it was going to one of the rooms opposite, but that's about it. So probably not to you all's room, probably to someone else's room. But there's only
how many rooms are there?
There's only like 4 or 5 rooms. It's not a big place, so it's very possible.
If I wanted to kick down all of the doors,
I mean, people would stop you at this point.
Would they?
I mean, yes. You can't just go breaking stuff.
I think even Hog would be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
Which people?
Yeah, like, how big of people? Like, who are we talking here?
Like, are we talking prom-sized, or are we talking...
We're talking somebody who's actually going to stop me, or like,
no,
they're
like
just going to ask me?
Like, the 2 humans, the other guard, I forgot the other guard's name, but...
I don't know if we ever made a name for him, but...
Yeah, I never gave you all his name. You all never asked, so he doesn't have one. So, but yes, you do ask, and he's like, they're not going to let you just break down doors. But...
Okay, what if I go angrily bang on the door?
If you ask who is staying here, right, you would know one of the rooms is being used by the women that run the place, right, that run about the place. And you're pretty sure that's where that lady came from. She's on the same side as you are. You all are in one room. Melkor is in the other room. The other human is in one of the other rooms. Because it looks like Melkor and Tresgar were in one room. And the other human is in the other room. Apparently enjoying the evening with a young lady. But those are the different rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4. No, there's just 4.
So, the only possible room that they could have been in, had it not been, I guess, Tresgar or Melkor, is in the room with the prostitutes.
Either a prostitute room or the other guy, I guess, technically. Because they're on the other side of the hall.
Okay, well, since I'm being irrational about all of this, anybody else have a good idea on what door for me to break down? Or knock on politely?
I won't break a door down. I'll look over at Milo and ask. I guess I already know what he saw. Do I? In character, I probably don't. I want to ask
told
Milo.
You.
Okay, he told us.
Because I would have told you right when I was telling Ron.
Right, and who was it that exactly knew that it was Calatrax's bird?
Brom
did.
How did you know that was Calatrax's?
There are no other white ravens, and Apelles told me so.
Okay. Well,
Clutch.
You know that it's probably like that was a really high. It was bad luck, really, is what it was. But you were able to see this bird because you know that Calatrax uses a bird for all kinds of nefarious purposes, but colors it
Birds are
white so that you
dinosaurs.
don't see it in the wastes. It was
Okay.
very just bad luck, but yeah.
If we
I'll put a
if
gentle
we
like,
need
arm on. Yeah, you go first.
if we need to get these people out of the rooms, I have a spell I could use to make harmless tremors under the building to simulate an earthquake.
I like that.
I'm like
question.
dead serious about it.
Like before he does that, if I'm like looking out at the rooms just from where I'm standing,
I think
because I
because
can
the
jump out
only
the
one
back.
that's left is I think Melkor would just walk over and bang on the other door and just be like,
Oh.
"Soldier, come on out!" And he's like, "Oh, now, now." And about 3 minutes later, he opens the door, and
That's all he needed.
it's this large dude, but he has like a bunch of scars on him, and he's just kind of wearing the blanket from the bed, and just kind of like, "Yes, sir."
Toga party.
And
You
Tresgar
told-
at
what-
this point is like, "Everybody, we'll fix this here," and he casts the Zone of Truth.
Oh, let's fucking go.
Everyone, please give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, I don't like that. 12?
14.
14.
21. Not natural.
Like
It's
Apelles,
the DC is 13.
Damn it.
I like that I failed, but
You already
can
do it
choose
anyway.
to fail. Yeah.
it doesn't really make a difference.
And so he's like, "All right," and then I need to roll for the other ones.
While this is going on, can I signal Izzy to go to the main tavern? Because that is also a place that would be connected to all of this.
Sure.
And look for someone suspicious and large that may be either chilling or leaving or something like that.
Okay.
Would she at least smelled it in the tunnel? So somebody she smelled in the tunnel that's in the room.
Sure.
Like just the scent she smelled in the tunnel of all of them.
Yeah.
Who they are in the room, because she can telepathically tell me this is this scent, this is this scent, this is this scent. She can tell me which one were the girls, and if there's a guy there that's large.
Also, you rolled really, really low on that perception check, so she's
I
gonna
did.
give it her
Okay.
best.
She might
I was
want
gonna say, Apelles, you said that I could tell that it was somebody very big. Can I mean, just being intelligent, and B, my understanding of what I checked in the tunnel, I could just size the people in the room up, right? And
If
easily
it's
narrow
any of the
things down.
people here, right? It would be Tresgar, Melkor, you.
Sure.
Hogram would also qualify, and the other dude would also qualify. The other guard.
the guy who just
Whose
walked
name
out.
you haven't asked yet.
If this isn't too meta, would Brahms 20 survival be able to tell if that big person had claws or not?
Ooh, yeah.
Or like armor.
Because they would have had to climb up and or down a ladder, so there'd be claw marks.
If it was a
No
dragonkin.
claws. You wouldn't see
Could
any
I tell what
claws.
kind of scuffs were on the
No.
ladder? I like where your head's at, Joe.
But
I
no,
was
you
thinking
would not
armor
see any
pressing against the
claw
wall.
marks. No.
I weirdly find that more annoying that it's not a dragon.
Tresgar is now
I'll
like, "All right, listen."
Is it not like the bird has already left? Are we in danger now? I agree that we should try to find another lead while we're here, but is this the end of our rest for tonight?
It's our messenger, so no matter whatever the message was, is the issue.
Should we flee?
Well, maybe, or we can interrogate.
So Tresgar just starts. All right, everyone. Let's just go like this. It's down the line. Answer straight face. Did you make contact with a raven? I will start. No. Hog.
No.
Brom.
No.
Melkor. And Melkor's like, no. And you? And the other human, no. Vaga.
No.
And Milo.
No contact.
Isn't Peter also in the room?
Yeah, isn't the shopkeeper there?
Peter. Oh, I have not rolled for him. He rolls a 5. And he says, Peter. Peter says, no. Okay.
Comma.
Did we see anyone leaving the house?
Same order?
No.
Just in general.
No.
No.
So either the person is hidden here, or they escaped without us seeing. Can you send the little dragon into the tunnels to just look and see if they're hiding there?
Yeah. I mean, well, okay, question, DM. What I would at this situation, because I don't want to, mess up anything that was already done, because I did have her go check.
Yes.
But I didn't send her in. Would this be a different type of situation here? Sending her in for investigation?
No, not really. You can send her right on in. And I don't think she, at this point, would see anyone inside there.
Okay. Yeah.
At this point?
Go ahead and take a look.
Yeah. So she scopes it out, and she does not see anyone inside of those down there. But you do see that there is a tunnel that leads out as well.
And while she's down there, I telepathically tell her to go to the end of that tunnel.
Yeah.
And see, let me know where it lets out, and I'll tell everybody else. Yeah, there's a tunnel that goes away from here. Peter, what's up with that? You said they just stayed within the compound.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, no. She's how far roughly would you say she is away from me right now?
Not too far, because it looks like it lets out just outside the building.
Okay, but it's not just within their premise though. It's outside of the area.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's down the street. It's like outside the walls here. It's outside of your general your base and the house and the town, the tavern.
Survival check for Izzy.
Survival for Izzy. Because she does not have one, what would that normally just be?
Flat wisdom check then.
Flat wisdom check. Mm-hmm. Okay. 5.
You don't see any tracks or anything outside. And it is snowing, so you feel like it would be pretty easy to pick up tracks, but you don't see any at all.
Okay. Where can she tell me by flying, like, go and come on out, fly up in the air and come back towards me? Can looking through her, can we see, can I see, should she tell me where if we're looking at the map of the city, did she come outside of the city?
No, still inside the city, very much so.
Where would she
but just
be, if you
like
don't mind letting me
on
know?
the, I would say the east side of the building.
Okay. Okay.
Can I just quickly walk down the hall and just double check all the rooms again now that all the doors are open and we know they're not in the tunnel, just to make sure they didn't climb up?
Sure. You kind of look through and you go. The last room has maybe 5 women that are living in it right now. And you kind of look through and you look at all the shelves and no, I don't think, because now you know where all the trap doors are. So now you just see that they're all there. I don't think you'd see anything else.
Hmm.
But Tresgar is like, well, that is disconcerting. Uh, if nothing else, they probably know where you are, and that probably means you shouldn't be here long.
Hey, we're still in the zone of truth, right?
Yeah. He's not let it
How
down.
long does that last?
Well, until he ends it. I think it's 10 minutes, so for quite a bit.
I go over to Tresgar
Mm-hmm.
and I ask him where he found the axe.
He's gonna look at you for a bit.
Not 10 minutes, I hope.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
I wasn't there when you were telling my friends in the study. I was wondering if you could relay the information to me.
I'm also gonna walk up to Melkor and be like, and out of curiosity, why would
That's a good
Calvert
move.
care
That's a
about
good
your house
move.
or what
That's a
you
good
got in this
move.
room?
That's a good move. That's a good move. Man.
Making plays.
Yeah, he's just gonna have. He's gonna say. It was, and he kind of looks at you. It was found in the upper aisles, in a tomb. And he drops Zone of Truth and looks at you. Very well, Brum. Yes, we did find the axe. There was a little more to it, I guess, than that. The axe was found in a tomb, and he kind of looks at the rest of you all, kind of sad, and then Melkor looks, and looks back, and like just kind of looks between all of you all, just like, all right, we're doing this. And he says, the axe was found in a tomb in the upper aisles. I did not want to um, worry you all as much, but it was not just found in a cave, abandoned. It was found in the hands of a dwarf. He sat on a throne in an excavated tomb. And when we went to investigate, the corpse rose and killed 12 men with this axe. We managed to stop it. Melkor kind of leans against the wall. And? And Tresgar looks. And? I am currently under investigation. I remembered some things, and he looks at Vaga, from my time with the old orc king. And we managed to stop this undead creature by a rite that I remembered. It is a dark rite, but a rite I used to save the lives of the men there. That is why I am being escorted. And he looks at Melkor and the others. I am technically on house arrest until they figure out what to do with me. I didn't want to, and he looks at Hog. I didn't want you to waver in your faith on my behalf.
My faith has not wavered, but this is good to know. Thank you for being Zone of truthful with us.
I didn't really have a choice, but I feel like at this point it's probably for the best.
So now that that's out here, and I walk up, you just said you're on house arrest.
Yes,
Calatrax Raven comes to your boy's house, and no one knows anything? Nobody. I'm sorry. I'm finding this really hard to believe now. Zone of truth or not?
That's fine. I understand. That's why I am stuck here. Seems a lot of strange things have been happening, and I don't want it to. Faith is a fragile thing. I did do something that I do regret, but I did do
You
it
never
to
had
save
mine to
people.
begin with.
He kind of looks
Just
at you like, and after I bought a lady for you. That's so. Anyway.
He's like, bruh.
Bruh.
No, but it is reasonable that I would be questioned. That is fine. And that's why I have complied and have not left this town. I've stayed here. So that makes sense. I'm following everything that my guards have instructed me to do. So and he kind of just is, he looks like really just sad, right? Like just really just sad that this came out the way that it did, especially in front of Hog. And he's just like,
Okay, but here's the deal, bro. Don't fucking lie to my friends.
Look, this is the information that we have now. One, this messenger Raven has escaped and will likely relay information about our whereabouts to someone we very much don't want to find us. So, as tired, as weary as I am, and as I'm sure that some of you are, any eyes, the guy who's been up all night, the lady,
been having a great time. But yeah.
I think we may have to vacate the premises for our own safety and the safety of this mission. And sort of shifts with the like the axe that he keeps on him at all times, sort of under his arm in the sheepskin. We can't stay here very long. We have a little bit more information in the open now, but we have to do something.
It's too late.
And
It's
Melkor's
too late.
like,
too late for what? To run?
For today. It's too late to relocate and try to bed down. By the time we get somewhere stable, it'll be morning. and I'm not going out there completely exhausted with what we got to deal with. It doesn't make sense.
You all are not
We're already
exhausted,
here.
by the way.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm thinking we're gonna be up all night. You said it was 2 a.m. when I asked you earlier.
Yeah.
By now, I'm assuming it's like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Like,
So in theory, okay, how long would a shift be? I think that's because I was going out to relieve Hog's shift.
Yeah, about 4
Minimum
hours.
of a short rest.
Yeah, I don't think you all, like, all of y'all are, like, stat-wise, all of y'all are at full capacity. If you did want to leave right now, you could, right? Like,
Okay.
you could head out and it would not be any negative penalty. It would just really
Okay.
be, I think I think the only thing is if you left right now, you would probably have to, if you wanted to bed down in the middle of the day, right? It depends on if you want to travel at night or travel during the day, right? Right now, you would be traveling at night, which means that you'd want to sleep in the day. And if you wanted to get your schedule back on track, you'd have to do an extra check to do that. But if you wanted to just keep your schedule off track, that's fine too. So you could technically leave right now, and that would give you the most time to get towards your goal. Or you could
Do we
rest
know?
and then head out in the morning.
Do we know if it's extremely? Well, if this is the crack, it's going to be dangerous. Do we know if there are extra threats that we are like well known to traveling at night versus bedding down at night, as far as creatures?
Zombies.
Okay, so the higher chance of hitting zombies during the night.
Yeah,
That's well known. It's known knowledge, though.
Yeah, if you make it a bunch of noise, you
Okay.
might run into some zombies. But that's about it. And they're still, yeah, I did say
He
zombies.
said zombies.
It's a like you all are on the east side of the River Tormag right now, where Kronos reigned, right? So there is some residual energy from his darkness, and the wastes are huge. People didn't go out afterwards to quell all the zombies, right? So you may come across a couple, but usually that's
in
why
this
you
case-
don't travel at night.
Given the danger of zombies,
I mean, there's not a lot, right? It's not like a very high chance that you run into them.
I think it's better that we do that. I think it's better we travel at night. Well, think about it. If we bed down during the day, there's less chance something gonna just randomly come out at us. It'll be easier to spot for whoever's on guard. You don't have to worry about anything, and it'll be warmer than if you try to bed down at night. So even
No,
if something
and
happens,
the other thing is that if you're traveling at
We're
night,
good.
it's really, really cold at night, and not like bedding down, putting extra blankets on, lighting a fire. You'd be rolling against the cold of the crag.
Oh, okay.
night. So
Okay.
it is more dangerous, but
it does stand that Calatrax is likely. There is the danger that she could be nearby, but this bird flew west, correct?
yes.
yeah, and they went pretty high.
So
She's
we
probably
may
got some
have-
distance to cover.
We may have a bit more time than I previously assumed. So
What?
let's finish our rest for the night, and in the morning we set out early. Yeah, so I'm down to stay, finish the long rest.
Okay. It's not an easy sleep, as you would imagine.
Nope.
It's not very restful.
We don't have like a zone of sleep, right?
No, it'd be great.
Oh,
That's a great spell. We
3-hour protection spell. We
It's
put it over the whole,
just so much
the whole
sleep.
house.
What do you do? It just makes you go right to bed. You get a
Oh,
full.
please fail this check.
There is a spell called catnap, but that's for another time. You all do rest, and is there anything else you all would like to do before you bed down for the night?
I would have liked to interrogate Tresgar sort of privately a little bit before
Sure.
heading to bed.
So the rest of you head off. Melkor
Wait,
stays
can I
in the
offer?
room.
Can I offer to stand guard? Like, is Tresgar have to be watched 24/7?
Yeah, Tresgar's on 24/7 watch. You get the feeling that may be why
Right.
Melkor was in Tresgar's room, right?
I mean, I got that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, can I offer to take that bit of watch for the interrogation?
No, well, I mean, you can be there, but Melkor is not gonna not be there.
Oh.
Melkor is gonna be with him at all times.
Oh.
So usually it's him and the other guy that switch out. The other guy's mood is kind of dead right now, but he's gonna give. He paid for it, so he's gonna give it his all. He's and so if you'd like, you can like stand outside the door and watch and like wait while
No.
Vaga is
Oh,
talking
that's
to him.
fine.
Okay.
If he wants to be as private as possible, I was just trying to keep other people from not being there.
Okay. Yeah, you
But-
stand outside of their door. Let's say that, and just keep anyone else from coming in. But Vaga is
Sure.
is okay with having a conversation with Tresgar and Melkor, if you want.
Yeah.
So everybody else heads off to sleep
So-
pretty much, and then
Just real quick,
yeah,
Baga's rested. Brahm's rested because he's relieving Hog right now. Milo and Hog are the only two who have not rested yet, and you guys are gonna go go talk to
yeah.
him
That's what I'm gonna say is going on. So basically,
while we
Milo
sleep,
and,
or-
and Hog head off to sleep. Vaga,
Okay.
you only need 4 hours really, so you're fine by this point.
Mm.
And then Brahm, you were going to relieve watch anyway, so you were going to be up right now anyway, so you're good.
Right.
So
Cool.
yeah.
It's also it's almost 5, and I did want to, since Brahm isn't going to be in the room, I did want this to be a secret convo. But
Okay.
I don't know how we're doing on time, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I was planning on this being the last conversation.
It's a secret.
So
If it's a secret convo at the end, you could just text him.
I want to record it. I think
wanna
it'll
get
be
the
useful for
recording,
me. Yeah, it'll be useful for me to have it
Okay.
recorded. So then let's do this. We will sign off here. Everybody will do our sign off, go through emotions and things like that, and then we will end with the conversation between Vaga and Tresgar. So thanks everybody for joining, and then afterwards, after we sign off, I can just hit a button and we can all jump back in. If you all want to jump back in just to talk, we can do that. But I'll let you know when we've stopped recording. But yeah, this has been another interesting and insightful game. Looks like there's some coals on the bottom of people's feet now that there is confirmation that little Miss Calatrax knows what's going on, and we're gonna see how that goes. So we're just gonna end, and I just want your final thoughts, what you're thinking about, what you're anticipating for the next session, and how we're gonna go. And we'll just start with Trevor.
Feeling pretty good. I think in character, I really want to trust as many people as possible because I feel strongly about what I'm fighting for, and the more people I know that we have on our side in a stable manner, the better I feel. So it feels good to have more information out in the open. Yeah.
That's good. A lot of information came out. Kyle.
So I mean, like, I feel pretty good, right? I don't have, debatably the biggest secret that I've been holding since like before session 1 back still. So that's pretty nice to kind of have out in the open for everybody. I also feel really good that, I mean, like, I've been traveling with Hog for a while, so I feel like I like the guy enough at least, and I don't trust Tresgar at all. And so I thought it was real shitty that he was lying to somebody that he was calling a friend. So I feel like as a person, just in general, I just feel a little bit better about the honesty that's now present.
Yeah. And then let's go to Milo.
I figured he was a sack of shit anyway. I'm not gonna lie. I did like him from the moment I looked at him off the library door.
He's been nothing but kind to you, Milo.
He has, and I still didn't trust him. Clearly, I know why now. No, seriously though. The Upper Isles.
Yeah.
piece is still irking me. Because even though we made the decision as a group to go south to look for everything, I still feel that there's something in the north that needs to be investigated. And now hearing that tomb was where they got the axe, like, and the Dwarven King actually rose from the dead after all these, I'm assuming centuries or decades. I'm not sure which one it is.
Centuries.
Centuries, yeah. And that curse is still there, or whatever was holding him is still there, and they had to destroy him to get the axe. It makes me want to wonder what else is up there of the dwarves. With my ability to read Dwarven and the information that I've gotten with the stump and everything like that, it really makes me want to go to the north to check out that tomb, because there may be something else that we're missing. They happen to make it out with the axe, but the way he's talking, it was like they barely made it out, quote unquote, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be something, because they can't read it, so they could have easily possibly bypassed something that could be super beneficial to what we're doing, and they never know. So that's where Milo is right now. Is it really the south where we need to be going still, or should we be checking out this tomb also? Like, is that something that needs to go on the bucket list? So,
well, you have a limited amount of time, so you all can decide. Right? Like that's up to you all. Joe.
Yeah. Good session. Lots of fun, secrets coming out in the open. This plot's starting to like thicken a bit, especially with the new the threat that's gonna keep this plot moving forward. It's gonna be good.
Good. I'm glad. So, thank you all very much. We'll drop off and do a little bit of epilogue with Vaga and Tresgar. But yeah, we'll be here. Thank you all very much for joining us. And if you all are, I will just chat when we're done. And so you all, if you want to jump back in, you can. But you are also more than welcome to just, if you need to go to bed or head out or do whatever, you can as well. But yeah, have a good one. Thank you all again for joining us. And it's the Crag. Please don't die. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. I will head to sleepy bad times, but it's been fun playing with you, and I'll be in chat. So see you guys again soon.
Cool.
Night, Trevor.
All right. Have a good one, Trevor. I probably shoot the chat a message. I'll pop back in.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, hold up. Go ahead, say bye.
Bye. It's adorable girl.
Later, y'all.
Take care. So,
all right.
You go back into the room with Vaga, and you see Vaga. You see Tresgar is just sitting on his bed with his head in his hands, just utterly defeated, right? Just kind of very, very sad that this came out, and he's just sitting there, tired and exhausted, and Melkor seems to be reinvigorated almost, and is just kind of just standing watch and sees you enter and nods and looks at you as you walk over, and Tresgar is just sitting on the bed.
Does he speak Orcish? I say in Orcish.
And he kind of tilts up. I wouldn't risk it. He says in common. And Melkor is already looking at you.
Melkor.
Yep.
I know I am a stranger to these lands. I am not as familiar with the factions of this land as I should be. You are keeping this not quite necromancer. under watch. It's practitioner of dark arts. On the authority of whom?
Human council. Orcish too, but human council as well. A lot of the orcs wanted to just flat out kill him, but humans think he's very useful and they didn't want him dead. There's a lot of prejudice against that kind of magic.
I understand. Tresgar, your relationship with Kronos were not as forthcoming. Were you there when it happened? When he was imprisoned in the obelisk?
I was not, no. But I know about it. I was trying to keep my brother's entrails inside of him at the time.
I'm curious about this dwarf on the throne, his corpse. What right did you use to save your fellows?
And Melkor kind of is like, now, we ain't trading in magical secrets. And Tresgar says, it's not something I think that could be repeated. It is no threat, as he looks to Melkor. It's an old rite. Binding. Usually used to control the undead. Necromancers use it so that after you raise an undead corpse, you can guide it and tell it to do things. We used it as a means of defense, as I did then. Yeah, it's dark, but it's dangerous because you can tell them to do whatever you want to, right? You can tell them to stop or kill someone else. So they have reason to be worried about it.
When you performed this rite, were you vying for control?
What you mean? Like someone else pulling on the other end?
Yes.
He kind of leans back. I think you know a lot more about this than you letting on too, huh?
There is a reason I came up to these cold lands, to this sunless place.
No, not this one. This old magic. Some I ain't seen. Some that's long before Kronos. He was an autonomous dead. Still had his wits about him. That don't happen often. Don't happen often at all. Nah. He was protecting something. Something he thought was real dangerous. Whatever it is y'all are finding, and I do hope you find it, is dangerous. Dangerous enough for somebody to hold the key in a tomb for 100 years and bind themselves to that spot. But also important enough to make a key. That's what's really been bugging me. Why don't they just bury it? Whatever it was. Well, I have the possibility to bring it back out into the sunlight. Why guard it with your life?
Why guard it with your unlife?
This vault, this vault of Mehron y'all finding, there's something in it that's more valuable than silver. Something in it
I would
that's
imagine
important.
so.
I don't even think it's weapons. Metal weapons are useful, sure, but it ain't this useful. You keep an eye on them, you hear?
I will. Before Kronos was imprisoned, his goal was to win the war. Did he have higher ambitions once the war was over?
Yeah. Eternity changes a person. You elves live for a long time. You kind of know what that's like. It's something when you decide that you have forever to get a thing done, and the scope of your work gets to get larger and larger. He wasn't going to stop at the crag. Hell, I don't think he would have stopped if he took over the whole world. There's something else. He was pulling something. That's where all the demons came from. Crag don't respond right to necromancy. It don't act right. It's a dangerous magic, and if y'all east of the crag, it's gonna may pop up a little bit more. It's uh, it's tainted. Maybe back in the day, necromancy could have just been another school, but it ain't that now. Not at all. Something happens when you cast them spells. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go with you. Just knowing something like that in my head, I don't know what I could do. I think Hog though, he's good folk, pure, got a good head on his shoulders. I think even if he was in that situation, he'd rather die than use something like that. That's why I sent him.
So he is capable of
No,
using something like
no, I don't think he ever learned anything like that. But I think if he did, he wouldn't do it. I don't think he'd touch it at all. You ever you ever put hands on that
that.
axe? Touch it, hold it.
I specifically told everyone not to.
I held it, picked it up. It calls to you. It's always calling to you. And it's not the axe on the other side of that phone. It's something else. Don't let
Orcus.
anybody. I, I hope not, Vaga. I really, really pray it's not. Don't let anybody else hold it. Hog has
There,
some things that'll help him, but it's dangerous for anyone else to be holding that axe.
we were able to decipher some parts of the axe. A command instruction: open. We think perhaps the axe takes souls. It is used as a ritual.
Phylactery.
Yes.
God damn. And he kind of leans back. That means Mehron ain't dead. That means we didn't stop him. I don't know what he was doing there, but if that axe is his phylactery, he ain't dead.
Hmm.
Oh, that's troubling. That's a lot of information to take in. And he just kind of is sitting there, just.
Yeah. As Tresgar is waiting, I turn to Melkor. If Braum were to come into contact with the power of this axe, or the lure of these evil magics,
You keep Braum
if he
away from it. Braum's
if
a
he
good
were
man.
to come if he were to come into contact, would he use that to exact his revenge?
He's like scratching his head. I don't rightly know. I'm not versed in all this magic talk, but Braum got hurt real bad by the dragonkin. If I'm being honest with you, I feel like he'd do whatever he could.
Then I will try my best to make sure that he gets vengeance honorably.
His brother would like that.
The path to redemption is long and difficult. We may not always know the way. But some paths are clearly better than others.
Tresgar sits up.
That is the path you must walk.
That's the hardest. He looks at you. Get some sleep, Vago. You gonna need it.
I bow and leave.
All right,
And when Brahm's there, I'm like,
let's go.
to bed.
And you head on to sleep. Yeah, guys, this is gonna be great. I'm glad you all got to really meet Tresgar. I was sad that you all were gonna attack him right away, but but no, I can't wait. This is gonna be it's good. But now you all have a direct line. I don't know what else is left. We've not had any combat for a while. We'll see. I don't know how combat heavy the Crag is. Like in the Crag, I guess if there's combat, you could die. So maybe not a lot
We're
of
trying to
combat.
avoid it as much as possible.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. So I'm going to stop the broadcast here. Thank you for